Well, for author Garth Jones, his newest offering, Home Brewed Vampire Bullets, Volume 1, has iconic characters riding a jaggedly scraped bump of high-octane mayhem, and he's here to tell us about it. Good morning, Garth.
Good morning, Greta. How are you?
Good, thank you. Now, first of all, I need to know, what is a transgressive fiction writer?
A transgressive fiction writer is someone who probably won't get published by one of the big Australian publishers.
Oh, why is that?
Just a bit too naughty and probably a bit too honest.
Oh, I see. Okay, and what is the plot of Home Brewed Vampire Bullets, Volume 1?
Well, this is inspired by a lot of growing up in Broken Hill pubs, a lot of pre-internet shenanigans out there. And the idea is that there's an undead pub rocker called Ed Von Satan who goes on the road with an all-girl band to fight an interdimensional war with a intergalactic resources harvesting demon.
Okay, is it set in Broken Hill?
It's we'll say this takes place in a parallel Australia.
Okay.
There is certainly a lot of references to growing up and all the experiences you have when you live in the bush and are very remote and don't have much access to anything that's current.
Right, without giving too much away, you mentioned those shenanigans growing up pre-internet that you've incorporated into the book. What were some of those? What's your inspiration?
Inspiration?
Well, yeah. What are some of those experiences?
Oh, yeah. I'm just thinking. So we grew up out the south, for the majority of being before I left, and we lived at the edge of the regeneration area, and we had pretty much carte blanche to do what we liked between the end of school and whenever we were called home. And there were, a lot of things that probably should be said to allegedly have happened, involving things we got off the internet before it was the internet.
Okay.
Just building, there's a thing called the Anarchist Cookbook that you used to be able to get on a half a dozen discs.
Yes, I know about that. I probably shouldn't go down that road here at the ABC.
No, but no. I got them already. Yeah.
Yes. No, I get the picture now. But here's something. Within the pages of the book, there are elements of graphic design and QR codes, interactive QR codes that draw the reader in. How does that work?
Correct. So I've gotten a good friend of mine, John Shork, who goes by the handle Half Majesty, and he's from Seattle. And he has created a score that goes with the book. So as you progress through it, you will find the QRs, and then you can queue up the music and let it play while you read through.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that will be an ongoing project through there'll be 6 volumes eventually. Currently got 3 coming out over the next 6 months. So,
okay, sorry, go ahead.
You're right, you're fine.
I was going to say, Garth, if you aren't able to get the major publishing houses publishing this sort of, as we're calling it, transgressive fiction, how are you publishing it, or have you published it? How's it work?
Sure. I have a background in advertising and graphic design that goes back 20 years or so. So I've sort of been around publishing in all those forms, and this project's sort of got a genesis over about the last 5 years or so. I decided to write it just as we discovered we were going to have our first daughter. So I had a deadline of 9 months, and then I've spent the ensuing 3.5, 4 years trying to get it published, and eventually decided that I'd set up my own imprint and do it myself.
Yes.
That includes all the graphic design, all the promotion, all of the PR, all the rest.
And just going into your background here, graphic design and advertising and things like that, how did you come about drawing comics for David Lee Roth of Van Halen?
Where was I? I was in Adelaide studying graphic design and illustration, and I ended up drawing a book called Van Halen's Strange and Twisted Tales, which is now old enough to drink in American pubs, which is quite scary. And off the back of that book, David Lee Roth actually saw some of the content and got in touch with the author, who's an American guy called Lance Watts. And I think we did 3 or 4 editions of it in 2003. And then it sort of slowly fizzled out as David Lee Roth gained more prominence again.
Now, when and where is this book going to be available?
It's pre-ordering now, and if you order it at the moment, you can get it with a limited edition cover by my friend Simon Sherry, which is sort of a very lurid gonzo-style illustration that he's done for me.
Mm-hmm.
So you can grab that exclusively from my website, which is passtheamyl.com, which is AMYL.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually launching on Halloween, and the weekend prior we'll be doing a virtual launch with my friend Dubé Knox, who's a erotic occult blaxploitation author from the US. So we've got it should be a fun event, and details for that will be going up on Twitter and Instagram, which are also at Pass the Amyl.
Oh, so hold on. It appears on Justin Hamilton's podcast, Big Squid. I've worked with Justin a fair bit.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there you go.
I've been friends with Justin for about 15 years now, I think.
Well, it's all...
We do a regular conversation about Australian exploitation film.
Oh, okay. Any ones that stand out to you? Any favourites that you keep coming back to?
Favourite exploitation? We really had a lot of fun with The Howling 3, the marsupials. And obviously the whole podcast idea started out, and we ran with Mad Max as the first thing to ease people into the concept. So pretty easy coming from out there to be able to discuss that at length. And
so does that aesthetic sort of come through in Homebrewed Vampire Bullets?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And take me through it once more. The plot, just quickly.
Undead pub rocker Ed Von Satan is zombified by a bunyip when his band performs at a very low-rent gig in a place called Broadaxe, which may or may not be inspired by Broken Hill.
Okay.
He then mistakenly receives a call up to do a gig and goes on the road with a group of female rockers called Babylon, and they end up encountering this intergalactic resources harvester that could be inspired by the mining industry in general.
Okay.
You can see where this is going.
I can. And it does certainly sound like high octane mayhem, Garth. Thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you, Greta.
That is Garth Jones, an author of Homebrewed Vampire Bullets Volume 1. There's going to be 6 volumes. It's going to be coming out this Halloween. So have a look for Garth online and track down that book if that sounds like something you'd like to read.